Now at 5, Pittsburgh's looking to create an arts district. We'll look at what that would mean. Plus, voters in Diamond, Missouri will decide a $4.5 million bond proposal for wastewater treatment. And a record number of women are running for gubernatorial offices across the country.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Pittsburgh City Commission will vote tonight on a resolution to declare a large portion of downtown as the Pittsburgh Arts District. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Officials say the mission of the Arts District is to maintain the spirit of art and culture through community interaction, education, and innovation. If approved, the designation would make it easier for new businesses to apply for grants.
Hopefully down the line that would be an excellent option if there's any way that the Arts District can help any of these businesses or local mom and pop shops get funding for their businesses, their buildings, any new improvements to this area. That is totally what we're here for.
We're going to hear from a board member tonight at 6. The city of Diamond, Missouri is asking residents to approve a $4.5 million bond in November. The bond would pay for water and wastewater infrastructure improvements. City officials are looking for grants to help pay for it, but it would also raise water and sewer rates to cover costs.
The issue is that our collection system that goes to that lagoon is where our issues are. It's old, it has a lot of root intrusion. We have a lot of what's called I&I, which is infill and intrusion of water into our system when it rains. And that creates, backups in the system.
The city will hold a public hearing at 6 p.m. tomorrow at City Hall to answer questions about that bond. Silver Dollar City today announced plans to invest $30 million into the park in the coming years. $5 million of that is allocated for next year. Some of the planned projects include a themed furniture store, more waterside dining, student employee housing, and improvements to the parking lots and entrances. Clearer skies after a rainy yesterday. Let's check in with Doug.
Yeah, we had rain through the morning hours and then sunshine popped out this afternoon, but still, again, since midnight, almost an inch of rain in Joplin puts us at about 3 inches for the month so far. For the year, over 37 inches, but we're still over an inch and a half behind where we should be for this time of the year. A little bit cooler on the Missouri side where the clouds are still breaking up, and then where there's been sunshine a little bit longer, we're into the mid 60s once you get out into our western counties, but it's definitely chilly. Look at the rain. Earlier this morning, we had some heavy amounts of rain, especially along and south of the I-44 corridor. All this now is pushing off toward the east, really the back edge right around Springfield. So we're going to continue to see clear skies as we go through the evening hours. We'll drop back through the 40s, eventually upper 30s later on tonight. When's our next chance for rain? We'll look at that here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. Britain's new Prime Minister made his first speech to the nation today. Rishi Sunak is the first person of color ever to lead that government. At 42 years old, he's the youngest Prime Minister in more than 2 centuries. Sunak inherits a long list of problems, including financial. A new survey out today suggests the UK has already fallen into a recession, and electricity prices are soaring because of Russia's war on Ukraine. With midterm elections in a couple of weeks now, a record number of women are running to lead their states. 9 women currently serve as governors, and more than 24 are vying to break that record. Skylar Henry reports from Washington on the growing list of female candidates and why political watchers say the trend is here to stay.
From Massachusetts to Oregon to Georgia, it's a banner year for women in politics. 25 women are major party nominees in races for governor, a record for both Democrats and Republicans.
We're not as used to seeing women in those executive roles. And so voters have to break out of any sort of subconscious barriers they have.
19 states have never had a female governor. And while 70 women have been major party nominees in the last 16 years, compare that to the 350 men who've had their names on the ballot.
More and more women can run. More and more women can win.
Kathleen Kennedy Townsend served as Maryland's lieutenant governor for 8 years, but came up short in her 2002 bid for the state's top job. She says national issues, including the Supreme Court decision on abortion rights, could motivate more potential candidates.
Do you think that we'll see even more women run because of something like that?
Yes, I think we will.
A record number of women are also facing off against each other in governor's races. In 5 states, both of the major party nominees are women.
In the last few years, we've seen women get more involved in politics because of the impact on their families. They want to have a say in their child's education, in making sure that their children are provided for, that they have an economic future.
Advocates are pushing to give more women a fair shot.
We still have these women who are breaking barriers where they are going somewhere that no woman like them has ever been. We love the first. We should celebrate the first. We're ready for the 38th, right? Like we're ready for the 29th or however many where we stop counting.
And this crop of 2022 candidates is ready to see a shift in state leadership. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
In all, 13 women could be voted to lead their states this November, which would break the record. Throughout history, only 45 women have ever served as governor. American basketball star Brittany Griner today lost her appeal in a Moscow court to overturn her 9-year prison sentence. Lawyers for the WNBA star argued her sentence was unfair and unjustified under Russian law. In August, a judge found the 31-year-old star guilty of deliberately bringing vape cartridges containing cannabis oil with her into the country. Griner's lawyers had argued she inadvertently packed the cannabis canisters. Still ahead, the future of student debt relief.
As the president's student loan forgiveness plan faces legal challenges, many are left in limbo. I'm Elise Preston with a look at the latest move to help some borrowers get relief.
And next in Health Watch, medical experts warn about a so-called triple-demic that could unfold this winter. Topping today's Health Watch, a health warning affecting the entire country. Medical experts are sounding the alarm about a possible triple-demic that could unfold this winter with cases of COVID-19, flu, and RSV all expected to rise. Christian Benavides has more.
The season is already off to a rough start, with respiratory illnesses spiking around the country. Experts are concerned about a possible triple-demic.
We have 3 respiratory viruses, RSV, influenza, and COVID, rising at the same time. Obviously, that's something we're going to monitor very closely.
Pediatric hospitals in many states are at capacity, with kids fighting respiratory infections. But White House COVID-19 response coordinator Dr. Ashish Jha says Americans are not powerless in this situation. Getting vaccinated could make a big difference.
We have flu shots that keep people out of the hospital. We have COVID shots. We have a brand new COVID shot that is formulated against the virus that's out there right now. That will keep people out of the hospital, prevent people from getting seriously ill.
Dr. Jha stresses that keeping people out of the hospital is critical when so many viruses are circulating, so hospitals do not get overwhelmed. Taking common sense precautions such as staying home when sick and washing hands can also help keep everyone healthy. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
While there are vaccines for COVID-19 and flu, there is no RSV vaccine yet. Several companies are working on it. And Dr. Jha says he hopes a vaccine might be available within a year. President Biden today received his updated COVID vaccine. The updated vaccine is effective against both the original strain of COVID-19 as well as the Omicron variant. The White House is beginning to push now to increase vaccination numbers, saying that now is the time to get protected ahead of the upcoming holiday season. President Biden also called on Congress to provide new funding so that COVID vaccine shots can continue to be free to all Americans. Being physically active may boost the effectiveness of your COVID-19 shot. And the new research published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that the more someone exercises, the more protective the vaccine tends to be. In a study of nearly 200,000 people, the vaccine was 60% effective in keeping those out of the hospital who did an hour of physical activity a week. But it was 86% effective for those who worked out more than 2.5 hours weekly. Playing video games might have benefits for kids after all. A new study from the NIH looked at nearly 2,000 children. Those who played 3 or more hours of video games each day performed better on cognitive skills, tests involving impulse control and memory, compared to kids who never played video games. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, a new report shows home prices trended into a record in August.
Plus, it looks like our temperatures are going to cool down for us tonight. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, we had more showers, even a few thunderstorms through the morning hours into the early afternoon, and then it started to dry out. Now we have sunshine, and it looks like a pretty good evening. It's going to be chilly, but we do have clear skies out there, which you can see on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri. But look at these rainfall amounts. The farther west you go, lesser amounts, about a half an inch to an inch in our western counties. Once you get to the state line, you can see the yellow that is showing us 3 inches, and this is over the past 48 hours. So most of southwest Missouri, northeastern Oklahoma, down through northwest Arkansas at least saw 3 inches of rain, which is great. Plus, it wasn't too heavy, so it had time to kind of soak into the ground over the past couple days, which is good to see. 51 in Lamar. We have 48 Anderson, 63 in Parsons, a little bit more sunshine earlier today in our western counties. Currently outside, we are sitting at 57 west, northwest winds 10 to 15. Humidity is at about 51%. Through the evening hours, clear skies stick around. 55 at 6, 49 at 8, 46 by 10. We'll drop back upper 30s later on tonight. So a little bit on the chilly side, but look at this batch of rain earlier today, the heaviest along and south of I-44, and then it slowly rotated off toward the east. Now really the back edge about Springfield, and you can see the clouds right behind it. So we have clear skies. That's what we're going to see as this storm system wraps up, heads off toward the east. And then our next storm system already moving into the Pacific Northwest, and that will start to affect us late Thursday and then heading into Friday and also the weekend. All right, let's go through time. By midnight, we're sitting into lower 40s. We'll drop back upper 30s. 39 Nevada, 38 in Neosho, 39 in Parsons. Through the morning hours, northeasterly winds, we warm near 60 by noon. During the afternoon, we get up into the mid 60s for afternoon highs. So a pretty good day. 38 at 7, 58 by noon, 64 by 5. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, we start to get a few clouds in here late into the morning hours on Thursday. So on Thursday, we're going to have a lot of mid and upper level clouds. You'll still see the sunshine, but we're going to have mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures sitting into the mid 60s once again. Thursday night into Friday morning, we'll start to see a few showers popping up in our far western counties. Not a big deal, but we are going to get a few random little showers in here by the time we head into late Thursday night and also on Friday morning. But most of this system kind of stays to our south. So let's go into Friday afternoon. Rain to our south. Saturday, it gets close, mainly to our south. We may get a few random showers in here on Sunday, but the bulk of that next system will stay to our south. So just slight chances for rain Thursday, or actually Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tomorrow, 63, 66 on Thursday, 64 on Friday, near 60 as we head into the weekend. Look at Halloween, 66, partly sunny, and it's going to be dry for the trick-or-treaters.
It's pretty much ideal for Halloween. A little bit cool in the evening, but, you know, a little gloom is good on Halloween.
Not bad.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, the latest on the legal battle over the student loan forgiveness plan. First, though, we honor a local World War II veteran. Leo Bailey served in the U.S. Army stationed in France, Belgium, and Germany. His hometown, Girard, Kansas, and we're proud to salute Sergeant Leo Bailey, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the Biden administration is looking at other areas for student debt relief while the legal battle over its broader loan forgiveness plays out in appeals court. The Department of Education announced a plan today that'll bring most loans for public servants closer to forgiveness. Elise Preston reports from New York.
New changes will simplify the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, helping teachers, public defenders, and other public sector workers with their student debt. The program, known as PSLF, started in 2007, but red tape and restrictions have denied relief to many borrowers.
These are idealistic people who want to give back to their country, who made career decisions based on a promise of loan forgiveness, and they were shortchanged. That's not right.
Last year, the government announced temporary changes that allowed 236,000 people to have more than $14 billion in student loans forgiven. But those expire October 31st, and the government is encouraging qualifying public service workers to apply before next Monday. Permanent changes are set to take effect next July. That includes credit for late payments, as well as income-driven repayment plans.
These actions will move millions of qualified borrowers closer to forgiveness by crediting all their past payments.
This latest plan comes amid legal challenges over President Biden's broader plan for student loan debt forgiveness.
6 conservative states are suing, claiming that relief will hurt their bottom line. But the Department of Education is pressing on.
We know 40 million people are counting on us to fight for them, and we're going to continue to fight for them.
Advocates are urging borrowers not to be deterred.
So right now, borrowers can still apply for debt cancellation. They can still go online and submit that form.
The Biden administration officially launched studentaid.gov last week, where at least 22 million people have already applied. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
A CBS News Battleground Tracker poll from August found slightly more than half of registered voters approved of some student loan forgiveness. The margin jumped to 75% for the under 30 crowd. Home prices have slowed considerably in recent months as higher mortgage rates have pushed more prospective buyers out of the market. According to the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price Index, in August, seasonally adjusted home prices fell 0.9% month over month. July marked the first month-over-month decrease for the national index since February of 2012. And the drop between July and August was the largest deceleration of home prices in the history of the index. In the face of growing pressure, the sportswear giant Adidas announced today it's ending its partnership with the rapper formerly known as Kanye West. It is the latest fallout from the superstar's recent anti-Semitic comments. The rapper, who now goes by Ye, has made a series of hateful and threatening remarks, including that he would go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. In a statement, Adidas said the company, quote, does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any other sort of hate speech. The move comes as anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. have nearly tripled over the last decade. And the world's largest cruise ship is now taking bookings. Royal Caribbean's massive 251,000-ton Icon of the Seas can hold nearly 10,000 people, including crew, and it boasts 18 guest decks. Early ticket prices start at just over $1,500, but passengers won't be setting sail until January of 2024. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look at the racial disparities in breast cancer diagnoses. Then on KOAM News at 6, new details are released about yesterday's school shooting in St. Louis. Plus, we're going to hear more plans to establish an art district in Pittsburgh. We'll have more on that. And the Columbus Titans prepare for their football playoff matchup this Friday against Burlington. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. All right, take a look at one of the latest stunning images from the James Webb Space Telescope. It shows two galaxies that are plunging into one another in a process known as galaxy merger. Their collision has ignited a rush of star formation known as starburst, creating new stars at a rate more than 20 times that of the Milky Way galaxy. Scientists think the merging galaxies might be in the process of forming a supermassive black hole. This is all about 270 million light years away, give or take.
Tell you what, that telescope's picking up all kinds of cool stuff.
It's amazing. Images like we have never, ever
Pretty cool.
The weather looking pretty nice.
Yeah, we got some rain. Most of us 2, 3, 4 inches of rain, something we greatly needed. Chilly tonight, upper 30s, 63 tomorrow, 66 on Thursday. We do get a lot of clouds toward the weekend, a random shower, but overall pretty good stretch of nice fall-like weather.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.